What's up, y'all? It's KingBritneyChanel. You already know. So today's video, y'all, is titled "People Do Not Have to Think Like You." Before I get into my thoughts on this subject or the subject at hand, definitely make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope y'all enjoy my thoughts on this.
I already know it's your girl Britney Chanel.
Alright, y'all, so this topic came to me because I've noticed as a YouTuber that people, just from my experiences on the internet, people oftentimes have like this group think ideology, and for some reason they think that you're supposed to subscribe to everything that they subscribe to. Well, today's video is to inform people that it is okay. Like, people do not have to think like you. Now, for those of you that watch my channel, y'all know I am pretty much a free thinker, and a lot of people, are not necessarily aware of what the free thinking ideology is. Okay, so the free thinking ideology and the definition of this: a free thinker is a person who rejects accepted opinions, especially those concerning religious belief. Synonyms to this is nonconformist, individualist, independent. Okay, so pretty much I don't necessarily subscribe to, groupthink ideology. And groupthink is typically like people will get together and they feel like you have to subscribe to the mass, ideals about things. And I've noticed that, like, especially on YouTube, like when you have, people that watch you, subscribers, this is all so new to me. I've never been a person that had a problem with other people not agreeing. You know what I mean? But on the internet, it seems like when it comes to subscribers, people just feel like if they watch you, like they want you to agree with everything that they agree with. And if you don't, like, we're in a society where we have like this cancel culture, or we have this culture of it seems like people today, y'all, want to be offended about something. Like, I will make videos and I will say something, and somebody will find something that I said in the video. They will make something up that I did not say, and they'll get in my comments and be like, well, you said this and I was offended about this. We literally live in a society where people they go out of their way to be offended. I remember coming up, and my dad, God rest him, he used to tell me, what other people eat don't make you fat. You know what I mean? Like, I've never been a person to be offended by people having different views. Even God, okay, he gives you freedom of choice, freedom of free will. You know what I mean? Freedom to do what you want to do voluntarily, okay? So for people, just being like a content creator, like, I've noticed like subscribers, they'll try to bully you into their thought process. Like, I've literally had, when I was doing controversial topics, I'll say that, I had literally had somebody, like, I didn't like a certain person, and I had somebody like straight be sneaky and conniving, like on a whole nother level, because I didn't identify with the group think. It was like this person had a lot of people supporting them, but I didn't necessarily like have an issue with the person. I just didn't subscribe to what the person represented due to my core values, like my religious beliefs and just who I am as a person. Certain things don't sit with me. And these people, y'all, on the internet, they went out of their way to make videos about me because I did not support the person who they supported. And I've said this time and time again on YouTube. I feel like the subscribers and people need to get out of, it's okay to like more than one person. It's okay to like somebody who somebody else doesn't like. It's okay to like a person that that this person doesn't like. It is okay to be different and have different thought processes. So when it comes to free thinking, and it's easy for people to all be in a group and agree on things. Everybody, people have peer pressure and their pressures into stuff. But where you get out of line at is when you feel like you can bully people because you have an ideology. And it is okay to believe what you believe, to have your thought processes that make you who you are. But when you try to project those onto other people, prime example, I believe in the Most High. And I always say, as for me and my house, I'ma serve the Lord. In my four walls, in my house, on my channel, that's me. Now, what you do outside of my channel, that's your personal business. But you'll have people, like, I'll give you an example. I said I don't subscribe to different stuff. Like I may not subscribe to soothsaying. I may not subscribe to tarot cards or just astrology or that type of stuff, which I have the right to. Which a person who does, they have the right to do them. But you got to do you on your page, in your house, in your area. When you get out of pocket is when you try to psychologically push your views on other people. And it's also like, another thing, since we talking about like the cancel culture and how people are easily offended because they want people to think how they think. Like I see it a lot too in the black community. I'll say the quote unquote black community. Like, okay, prime example with this whole R. Kelly situation. If people don't believe R. Kelly, they don't believe R. Kelly. You can't come and push your views or bully and harass people into viewing things like you. That's you. If you listen, you gotta treat your life like a YouTube playlist. I don't subscribe what I'm not interested in. I don't go and look to see what I'm not interested in. I don't go on nobody live that I'm not interested in because I'm not interested. And some people even had an issue, me just even being a YouTuber, if I told them I wasn't interested about stuff, it offended them. Like you are entitled to your opinion, your interest, and that's fine. But when it comes to other people, they are entitled to that same thought process. So you may believe something, but that doesn't give you the right to push your beliefs or to make a person into what you are on. You know what I mean? That is just insanity. And it's also like insecurity. I'll give y'all another example. When, people that, okay, prime example. We're going to use R. Kelly again as an example because we've been talking about him on this channel. I'll make a video talking about R. Kelly, and then somebody will make it about, I feel like they coming after all black men. That is what you call metaphysically insecure. And the reason that it's an insecurity is because you should be secure within yourself that when somebody says something about another person, you're not trying to make that your issue or trying to make that about you. Like I watch different, men on YouTube who they're not, favorable, or black women are not the most favorable to them, or they don't like black women in that sort of way. And they have these, this ideology, these stereotypes about women of color. And I feel no type of way about that because I'm a person that's secure within myself. It's people that don't like natural hair and they leave comments under my video. It don't make me feel no type of way because I'm secure within myself. People who are secure, they're able to freely think. It doesn't bother them when people feel how they feel. Like, I don't understand people will use racism as an example. People have the right to hate you, to not like you because of your appearance, to be biased, all of that. They have that right to have that ideology. What they don't have the right to do is to then push that onto you outside of the scope of what they doing personally. If they feel like how they feel in their mind, that's okay. It doesn't make me feel a certain type of way. Like when I see some of these channels where they're constantly always talking about colorism, or they're constantly always talking about racism and how somebody didn't include them, they have that right. It's the same thing I was saying about the Monique situation, where Monique is begging people who already have a system. Okay, y'all know what type of people these are. They've made a system, they've already had that system going, and then people during the civil rights movement, they begged to be a part of that. So now they already have a system. You have irritated these people because you've begged to be a part of their system, and then you're expecting them to treat you fairly when they've already told you they didn't like you. You have to believe and respect people's belief systems. If they've already told you they didn't like you, they didn't want you to be a part, and then you want to bully your way in, and it's like, no, that's their stuff. They have the right to be, you know, what they want to be. So that type of thought process, I feel like people with groupthink, it's kind of like a weakness, because it hinders them. Because groupthink is an ideology. They feel like, why don't you feel like the group? Like, you know, I had people, when I did like a video on, you know, me not subscribing to white privilege and the rest of that stuff that people be on. Like, you know, some black people, when it comes to consciousness and that sort of stuff, they believe in the same, I feel like, outdated rhetoric that people spew around. And I don't necessarily subscribe to that, because I believe a different type of way. Honey, I have people making videos like I need to educate myself on the civil rights movement, when I clearly stated that I didn't agree with most of the civil rights movement. But you know, people just, they cannot fathom that you don't agree with what they've been, you know, taught to believe and that sort of thing. And it's just like, this is kind of like why I don't necessarily like labels, because labels box you into things. Labels, you know, especially like, okay, let's take for example the term black, right? People be like, I'm black and I'm proud. Me, I like to study etymology, and I've come to learn that the word black means the absence of light, the absence of morality. And when I think about the whole concept of like even racism, you know, certain people are called, you know, white. White is purity. And then you're being called the absence of light, immoral. I mean, black in certain parts of the world means poverty. So I look at it like that. Like, why would I call myself something that's negative? You get what I'm saying? A name that was not created for me, not my name, not the name that the Most High God has given the people. But you'll have people that slap that label on a whole group of people to make, you know, to sort of, I would say, make the children without a father. I'm gonna say, y'all know the word. And you know, they use terms like, they're comfortable using terms like African American and black and that sort of thing. And I don't necessarily subscribe to that, because I feel like certain titles put certain stigmas and word curses on people. But you know, there's some people, they're proud of those titles. They will fight tooth and nail. So I feel like, because we're so accustomed to you know, this, we are all one, and we're not all one. We're not all one. Even when you are a person that is who they quote unquote call black, you're not the same as the person sitting next to you genetically. You might not even be from the same tribe as that person. You might not even be from the same bloodline as that person. You know, there's some people that's righteous. There's some people that y'all know who their father is. But I've come to like learn this. Like, I've noticed, like, you'll have subscribers on YouTube, honey, they'll start whole crusades against you. Like, I've had people try to flag my videos because I didn't subscribe to the group think. I've had people, like I said, making videos, going to other content creators on me because they felt like I should have agreed with something. It's just pathetic, and it's just like, people should not be so weak-minded. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's okay to be different. And I feel like society has done a great disservice to a lot of people because it puts a stigma like, okay, with prime example, I'll say certain groups of people, they feel a certain way about who they are, and they define that, and they feel like, okay, I'm going to bully acceptance. And that's not the way that you give acceptance. It's either people subscribe to what you subscribe to, and you have to respect the fact that they may not subscribe. And you have to be okay within yourself about that. Like, even if you're a person that's a melanated person, like I just said, it might be people that hate you for the rest of your days. But you have to be okay within yourself. It's okay that another person has a thought process, because it's not going to change who you are, how you feel about yourself. Well, it shouldn't, I'll say. So when I'm like free thinking, I try to avoid joining groups of like-minded people, okay? Like, you're not growing if you're in a group of people that all share the same views on life. I'll put the link to this article, and it says, often you will not share the positions of another group of individuals exactly. And basically, look cautiously when becoming a member of any group that encourages you to dress or act or believe in certain things. This is often the first step of losing your individuality. So me as a person, like an artist and a person that's a content creator, because I'm very creative, I love individuality and I hate conformity. So a lot of people have a problem with that. I don't, it doesn't make me any, never mind, darling. This video, I don't want it to be, very long. I just want people to know, like, it's okay to be open-minded. It's okay to have your core values. But what's not okay is you trying to psychologically, bully people because you feel a way and they don't feel that same way. It's not okay. It's okay to be different, okay? And I think society, like I said, has done a great disservice to people because they've put these labels. They've tried to categorize people into these groups, especially like, certain racial makeup groups that don't exist and certain things, and it puts a wedge between people. Embrace those differences. Embrace people's thought processes, and just respect. Well, not embrace people's thought processes, but realize that people have different thought processes, and that's okay. And y'all can be harmonious by respecting that it's differences. That's it. I hope y'all enjoy my little rant and my little thoughts about this whole situation. Leave your comments about this down below. It's KingBritneyChanel. You already know. Definitely make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope y'all enjoy my video.